The Young and the Restless spoilers. Kyle and Noah's rivalry takes a dramatic turn. Find out why. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates suggest that the rivalry between Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, and Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, might escalate for a surprising reason. The feud between the Abbotts and Newmans is likely to intensify with the next generation. So let's discuss what's coming up. The Abbotts may not like that Noah cheated on Allie. To begin with, the revelation that Noah cheated on Allie Gwynn, Kelsey Wong, might not sit well with the Abbotts. Allie is a kind girl who didn't deserve such treatment. But Kyle has his own romantic missteps and isn't in a position to judge. While Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, may hold Noah's betrayal against him, it might not be a significant issue for Kyle in the end. After all, Kyle doesn't really know Allie, so he'll be more focused on other matters, like regaining Claire Newman's Haley Aaron trust. Kyle understands he has an opportunity to achieve this through his current partnership with Claire, which includes a plan to take down Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. Kyle and Noah's rivalry could be triggered. However, this goal might also trigger the rivalry between Kyle and Noah in the upcoming weeks. YNR fans are aware that Noah is a rescue ranger like his father, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, which makes him attracted to those in need. It might not take much for Noah to lose focus on his relationship with Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, once he notices Audra is in danger. With Audra and Noah encountering each other again in Genoa City, many fans are sensing some chemistry between Audra and this version of her ex, Lucas Adams, and Zuleika Silver could create a great on-screen pairing. Noah may feel protective of Audra. To facilitate this, Noah might once again feel protective of Audra. There has been significant attention on Noah officially meeting Claire and forming a bond, which is also crucial. The more Claire and Kyle attempt to harm Audra, the more Noah may strive to protect her from that fate. As a result, Kyle and Noah might have a chance to continue the rivalry between Jack and Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. If Claire successfully extracts the rest of Audra and Holden Novak's Nathan Owens' LA Horror Story from Sienna, it could lead to even more complications. There's a possibility Noah could betray Sienna by becoming Audra's savior. Noah could potentially betray Sienna as he feels compelled to become Audra's savior. Regardless of the situation, the history between Noah and Audra will play a significant role as things progress. It's quite possible that Noah will realize he hasn't fully moved on from his past relationship. Kyle's role in Audra's revenge scheme might spark another chapter in the Newman-Abbott rivalry, so keep an eye out for any concerning developments. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Noah and Audra might still have unfinished business with one another. Young and the Restless spoilers. Kyle and Noah's rivalry takes a dramatic turn. Find out why. 1,500-word deep dive. The fires of the Newman-Abbott rivalry have always been the lifeblood of Genoa City, passed down through generations like a sacred, yet toxic family heirloom. While patriarchs Victor Newman and Jack Abbott continue their endless corporate and personal warfare, a new, volatile generation is stepping up to the plate. This week, The Young and the Restless is setting the stage for a dramatic, earth-shattering turn in the simmering tension between two of its key young men, Kyle Abbott and Noah Newman. Forget the petty squabbles of the past. This isn't about summer or a minor disagreement over a startup. This new eruption is intensely personal, fueled by betrayal, a desperate plot for corporate revenge, and, most surprisingly, a woman from their mutual past, the perpetually controversial Audra Charles. The match that ignited the powder keg, Kyle and Claire's vengeful alliance. The initial spark for this conflict lies in an unlikely yet powerful new partnership. Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman. Both have personal scores to settle, and their combined thirst for justice or perhaps revenge has found a single magnetic target, Audra Charles. Kyle, feeling manipulated and betrayed by Audra in a previous corporate chess game, sees her as the ultimate obstacle to his stability at Jabot and his emotional peace. For Claire, who is striving to make her own mark in the family business while navigating the treacherous Newman waters, Audra is a symbol of the very chaos she's trying to escape. The plan to bring down the fox. Spoilers reveal that Kyle and Claire have formalized an explicit alliance to take Audra down. Their strategy is twofold, corporate and personal. The corporate takedown. By leveraging their positions at Jabot and Newman, they plan to expose a trail of shady business dealings and manipulative tactics they believe Audra used to climb the ladder. The goal? To cripple her credibility and force her out of Newman Enterprises, ideally dragging her former partner, Tucker McCall, into the mud with her. The personal exposure. The core of their strategy revolves around digging up dirt on Audra's past, specifically her connections to the dark secrets surrounding Holden Novak and Sienna Bacall in Los Angeles. Kyle, in a shocking move that reconfirms his darker, more Machiavellian side, is reportedly using his newfound connection to Sienna, who is now in Genoa City, to pry out the full, horrific truth about Audra's history in the City of Angels. The dirt they seek is the complete story of Audra's alias, Audra Cortez, and the incident at Sienna's club involving her husband, Matt Clark, Mitch Bacall, the very man who has brought danger to the Newman family, most recently targeting Noah. The chilling subtext here is that Kyle is willing to partner with a Newman, Claire, and use a woman in danger, Sienna, to achieve his goal. His desperation for revenge is putting the entire Newman clan at risk, and this is where Noah steps in. Noah Newman, the unexpected hero. Noah Newman's recent return to Genoa City was under fraught circumstances, having been severely injured in a car crash in Los Angeles, an event connected to the very dark history that Audra, Holden, and Sienna are trying to bury. Noah is slowly recuperating, and he is accompanied by his girlfriend, Sienna Bacall, whose true connection to the danger, her husband is the dangerous Matt Clark, is the eye of the storm. Despite the chaos and the ever-present threat of Matt Clark, Noah has recently had an unexpected and charged reunion with Audra Charles. Their past relationship, filled with passion and dramatic heartbreak, is clearly not as resolved as either of them pretended. The rescue ranger, instinct, a father's legacy. What fundamentally shifts the dynamic between Kyle and Noah is Noah's ingrained rescue ranger nature, a trait he inherited directly from his father, Nick Newman. Spoilers heavily suggest that as Kyle and Claire intensify their efforts to destroy Audra Charles, Noah's protective instincts will kick into high gear. Protecting Audra, Noah sees Audra not just as an ex-lover, but as a woman being unfairly targeted by a ruthless corporate plot. The harder Kyle and Claire fight to tear her down, the more Noah will feel compelled to step up as her shield and protector. This is a classic Newman move, defending the underdog, even if that underdog is a manipulative ex who caused him significant pain. The unresolved love, the close proximity, coupled with Audra's vulnerability, is fanning the flames of their old romance. The spoilers suggest Noah will realize he is not completely over his ex. This romantic resurgence, born from a desire to save her, makes his collision with Kyle unavoidable. The Sienna situation, Noah is already in a complex, strained relationship with Sienna. If Kyle's digging, via the alliance with Claire, successfully uncovers the full truth about Sienna's role in the LA drama and her connection to his own accident, Noah may turn on Sienna and rush directly into Audra's arms, cementing his role as her hero. The dramatic turn, a new feud for a new era. The convergence of these storylines, Kyle and Claire's plot for revenge on Audra, and Noah's protective resurgence of feelings for his ex, is the single, shocking reason this rivalry is about to explode: the fight for Audra Charles. Echoes of the past, Newman versus Abbott redux. This deeply personal conflict, rooted in corporate betrayal and romantic entanglement, has the potential to drag the entire Newman and Abbott families back into a bitter, winner-take-all feud. As an Abbott, Kyle is implicitly aligning himself against a Newman-related figure, Audra, who works for Newman Media, in partnership with another Newman, Claire. This is a conflict that hits close to home, reviving the spirit of Jack Abbott's battles. If Kyle's plan succeeds in damaging Newman Media's reputation via Audra's downfall, it will be a victory for the Abbott-run Jabot/Abbott Communications. Noah, the Newman, Noah's decision to protect Audra, regardless of her past transgressions, is a powerful move that aligns him perfectly with the Newman loyalty code. He is defending a key player at his family's company and, in the process, going head-to-head with an Abbott. The rivalry will transition from a latent, generational animosity into an active, high-stakes battle. It won't be Victor versus Jack, but Kyle versus Noah, a clash of ideologies and family loyalties played out over the fate of Audra Charles. What's next? A week of high-octane drama. The coming week's spoilers confirm the battle lines are drawn. Claire and Kyle's alliance. The partnership is official, and they are moving forward with their plan against Audra. Expect intense moments of corporate espionage and dark dealings. Noah's confrontation. Noah's path is set to collide directly with Kyle's efforts. Will he openly confront Kyle? Will he try to sabotage the plan to protect Audra? The tension will be palpable. Audra's game. Audra is a master manipulator. Will she see Noah's protective nature as a sincere gesture, or simply another tool to use in her own survival game? Her reaction will determine the severity of the Newman-Abbott clash. The Matt Clark factor. The true danger remains Matt Clark. As Kyle and Claire dig for Audra's secrets, they risk exposing themselves and others to a genuine criminal threat, turning a corporate rivalry into a life-or-death crisis. The stakes could not be higher. Kyle is risking his future at Jabot and his relationship with his family for revenge. Noah is risking his new stability, his relationship with Sienna, and potentially his safety to save his ex-lover. Genoa City is about to witness a young rivalry that mirrors the classic feuds of its past, but with a dangerous, modern twist. The fight for Audra Charles will redefine the relationship between Kyle Abbott and Noah Newman, ensuring The Young and the Restless remains essential, high-engagement viewing. Your take. Which man will prevail in the fight for Audra? This week's dramatic shift in the Kyle/Noah rivalry leaves us with one burning question. Will the relentless, strategic Kyle Abbott succeed in exposing and destroying Audra Charles? Or will the protective, emotionally driven Noah Newman manage to save the woman he never truly got over, reigniting an old flame and putting himself on a collision course with the Abbott family? Spoilers weekly update December 15th to 19th. Nick's grave danger. Summer surprise message. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for the week of December 15th, 2025. Next week, fans will see Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow in grave danger. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, sends a message to Summer Newman, Allison Lanier. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera, Nick Newman's Grave Danger. Let's start off with Nick and Matt. The two characters are only mentioned once in the official written spoilers. It's on Friday, and it just states that there is a dangerous showdown between the two men. However, fans know that Nick showed Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, the traps he laid out. What they don't realize is that Matt is already in Genoa City and looking to attack. Summer Newman's surprise message. In Genoa City, everyone is gathered at the Abbott Communications launch party. However, fans know that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, has launched his attack on Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. In a preview clip, Jack looks at his phone and seems alarmed. Then Diane Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters, looks over at Jack's phone. There is also Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, who questions Victor about how he's going to attack when Jabot has been taken offline. That is when Michael realizes that this isn't a business attack, but a personal one. Later in the week, Kyle sends a message to Summer. Does this mean that Summer might be coming back to Genoa City? Claire Grace Newman's alliance. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week reveal that Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, and Kyle form a truce. The two will team up to take down Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. However, Audra seems ready to completely snap. Summer Newman's surprise message. In Genoa City, everyone is gathered at the Abbott Communications launch party. However, fans know that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, has launched his attack on Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. In a preview clip, Jack looks at his phone and seems alarmed. Then Diane Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters, looks over at Jack's phone. There is also Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, who questions Victor about how he's going to attack when Jabot has been taken offline. That is, when Michael realizes that this isn't a business attack, but a personal one. Later in the week, Kyle sends a message to Summer. Does this mean that Summer might be coming back to Genoa City? Claire Grace Newman's alliance. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week reveal that Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, and Kyle form a truce. The two will team up to take down Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. However, Audra seems ready to completely snap. What else to expect? Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, try to do damage control at the launch party. Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, confronts Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. Later, Jack holds Chatham accountable for their actions. Plus, Billy and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, strike a deal. What will Sally think of this so-called deal? Also, Diane turns to Michael for help. However, Michael is working for Victor. At the same time, Diane and Michael's friendship goes back a long time. Also, Jack sticks his nose in Victor and Nikki Newman's, Melody Thomas Scott, relationship. Fans will also see Nikki interrogate Victor about his attack on Jack. YNR Weekly Update. Nick's grave danger. Summer surprise message ignites new war. December 15th to 19th. This week on The Young and the Restless, Genoa City transforms into a battleground where corporate warfare and a horrifying personal vendetta converge, threatening to shatter one of the Newman family's central figures. The return of a notorious villain puts Nick Newman directly in the crosshairs of grave danger, while a surprise message from Summer, delivered under highly unusual circumstances, promises to ignite a fresh, volatile conflict within the Abbott family. Get ready for a high-octane week where no one is safe and the lines between business and personal destruction are completely erased. Nick Newman's life in peril. The return of a vicious enemy. The air in Genoa City is thick with malice as Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, finds himself facing a terrifying old threat, Matt Clark, Roger Howarth. Clark, a dark figure from the Newman family's past, is not just back for revenge. He's here to unleash a personal brand of terror that puts Nick in immediate, grave danger. The looming confrontation. Nick has always been the protector of his family, especially Sharon Case. But his previous attempt to protect her in the face of Clark's rising threat only managed to spark new tension. This week, however, Matt Clark's plot escalates dramatically. Friday's deadly peak. The weekly spoilers confirm that Nick and Matt Clark's rivalry will take a sudden, dangerous turn on Friday. This is no longer a boardroom conflict. It's a life-or-death situation where Nick's instincts as a father and protector are put to the ultimate test. A twisted scheme unfurls. Matt Clark's machinations are tied to Noah, Lucas Adams, and his new associate, Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun. With Sienna being shielded by the Newmans, Matt orders his accomplice, the dirty cop Annie, to take care of Sienna, who is stashed at the GC. This suggests Clark is willing to hurt anyone close to the Newmans to gain leverage and inflict pain. Nick, taking matters into his own hands to protect Sharon, and, by extension, Noah and Sienna, will find himself walking directly into Clark's trap. The stakes for Nick, the rivalry spiraling out of control, indicates a physical and possibly life-threatening showdown. Nick's life hangs precariously in the balance as he confronts a man who has already demonstrated a ruthless, unstable capacity for violence. This storyline is poised to move the show's focus from corporate drama to a dark, personal thriller that could completely change Nick's life forever. Summer surprise message. The spark for a new Abbott war. Across town, the corporate world is in chaos, and the fallout is about to reach all the way to Milan. Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, and his new ally, Claire Grace, Haley Aaron, have teamed up with a clear target, Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. In a calculated power play, Kyle delivers a pointed message to his ex-wife, Summer Newman, who is currently focused on her career and new Italian romance overseas. The Alliance and the Ultimatum. Kyle and Claire's alliance forms on Wednesday, with the singular goal of combating Audra's increasing influence and double-dealing. A calculated blow. On Thursday, Kyle makes his move by sending a message to Summer. This isn't a friendly check-in. It's likely a calculated strategic move tied to their co-managed company, Marchetti, which is a subsidiary of Jabot, given the massive corporate coup Victor has just executed against Jack. Kyle's message is almost certainly about the vulnerability of Marchetti under Audra's potentially compromised leadership. Summer's reaction. The surprise element suggests this message will either blindside Summer or force her hand. Will Kyle demand she step in to protect the company from afar? Will he warn her about Audra's threat to her career and even her relationship with Harrison? This move is designed to draw Summer back into the Genoa City drama, potentially putting her in conflict with the Audra/Harrison angle and reigniting her volatile dynamic with her ex-husband. The new love triangle. Summer's new Italian life with her hot Italian boyfriend has kept her out of town, which was working well for Kyle and Claire's developing relationship. Kyle's message, however, is a deliberate step to re-establish contact and potentially an attempt to leverage his co-parenting relationship and corporate interests to pull Summer back to Genoa City, which will inevitably threaten his fragile new connection with Claire. Corporate coup and family fallout. Victor's vicious attack. The great Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, continues his unending war against Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and this week he delivers a decisive, devastating blow that sends shockwaves throughout Genoa City's elite. Victor's victory and Jack's fury. Monday, Victor orders Adam, Mark Grossman, to put their revenge plot in motion, targeting Jabot using Newman Media's platform. Billy and Sally's Abbott Communications launch party is supposed to be a celebration, but takes an unexpected turn, likely due to Adam and Chelsea's presence and the unfolding attack. Tuesday, Victor celebrates a major win against Jack, a victory so significant it sends the Abbotts reeling. Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, are left scrambling to do immediate damage control after the launch party is sabotaged. Chelsea, Melissa Claire Egan, confronts Adam, furious that he went rogue to serve Victor's vicious agenda. Wednesday, Nikki Melody Thomas Scott learns of Victor's coup and is left furious by her husband's deceit and ruthlessness, setting the stage for a showdown between the couple. Meanwhile, Jack, having suffered a crushing blow, immediately begins to plot his counterattack. Thursday, Jack holds Adam and Chelsea accountable for their role in the Newman Media attack, forcing them to reckon with their betrayal. Desperate, Billy strikes a surprising deal with Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, to help mitigate the damage, an alliance that promises more trouble than solutions. Friday, Jack takes his revenge to a personal level, attempting to interfere with Victor and Nikki's marriage, hoping to hit the mustache where it hurts the most. Sidebar shocks and shifting relationships. As the corporate and personal battles rage, several key relationships see dramatic developments. Phyllis and Kane's kiss. Despite their volatile, frenemy dynamic, Phyllis pushes Kane's buttons, and their interaction ends in a kiss. On Monday, they try to set firm boundaries at the launch party, but the lingering tension threatens to derail Kane's efforts to reconcile with Lily Crystal Khalil, who has already had a change of heart toward him. Diane's distress. With Victor on a warpath, Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, realizes how vulnerable she is and sends an urgent SOS to Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc. Michael is now torn between his loyalty to Victor and his long-standing friendship with the Abbott family. Nate and Lily's connection. Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, finding himself under increasing pressure, confides in Lily. Their quiet moment of connection is a clear signal that the underlying spark between them has not been extinguished. And the Restless spoilers, weekly update December 15th to 19th. Kyle's message and Nick's danger. Tune in to The Young and the Restless next week to find out about the drama happening in Genoa City. The Young and the Restless spoilers, weekly update for December 15th to 19th tease the week ahead, sees Kyle sending a message to Summer after forming an alliance with Claire. Meanwhile, Nick's rivalry with Matt Clark gets dangerous as Sally and Billy scramble to do damage control. Tune in next week so you can catch all of the action in Genoa City. Key takeaways. Kyle aligns with Claire and sends a pointed message to Summer as tensions with Audra escalate. Victor pushes his war with Jack further, dragging Nikki, Adam, and Chelsea deeper into the fallout. Nick's rivalry with Matt Clark turns dangerous, while Billy and Sally scramble to contain
Today's
launch
shocking
party
news.
damage. The Young and the Restless spoilers weekly update. December 15th to 19th, Kyle's calculated message and Nick's dangerous showdown. The tranquil facade of Genoa City is about to shatter into a million pieces. The week of December 15th through the 19th on The Young and the Restless is not just a week of drama. It's a high-octane corporate war zone mixed with a terrifying personal vendetta, culminating in devastating consequences for the Newman and Abbott families. From the disastrous launch of Abbott Communications to a terrifying confrontation involving a resurrected nemesis. No one is safe from the fallout. Kyle Abbott is making a calculated power move that sends a chilling message, and Nick Newman is racing headlong toward a danger that threatens to consume him. Prepare for a deep dive into the shocking developments that will define the end of the year in Genoa City. The corporate cataclysm. Victor triumphant, Abbott's reeling. The gloves are officially off in the perpetual war between Victor Newman and Jack Abbott. This week, the mustache is celebrating a devastating victory that leaves the Abbott family in an unprecedented state of chaos, and Jack is immediately planning a ferocious counterattack. The Abbott Communications launch goes up in smoke. The week kicks off with the much-anticipated launch party for Abbott Communications, the new media venture helmed by Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra. They are determined to make a mark, but their moment of triumph is shockingly derailed. Monday, December 15th, Victor orders Adam Newman to initiate the final, crushing stage of their revenge plot against Jack. Meanwhile, the Abbott Communications launch party takes a sudden, unexpected, and devastating turn. Tuesday, December 16th, Victor is seen celebrating his massive business win against Jack, confirming the Abbott family has taken a major blow. Billy and Sally are left scrambling to do immediate damage control, their new company's future already in jeopardy. The chaos suggests Victor's plan utilized Newman Media, or possibly the infamous AI weapon, to target the launch directly. Jack's vow of vengeance and Nikki's fury. Victor's victory, likely tied to the fate of Jabot, has a massive emotional and financial toll. But Jack Abbott is not one to surrender. Wednesday, December 17th. Nikki Newman is furious after finally learning about Victor's latest ruthless coup against Jack. Victor, who intended to keep this particular dirty trick from his wife, will face a blistering confrontation. Nikki is appalled by the cruel extent of his grudge, knowing full well the pain it will cause. Wednesday, December 17th, Jack, fueled by rage and loss, begins to plot his intricate counterattack. This isn't just about business, it's personal. Jack is set on making Victor pay for his heartless actions. Thursday, December 18th, Jack rips into both Adam and Chelsea Lawson for their roles in Victor's scheme, specifically whatever Newman Media published to destroy Jack's reputation. While Chelsea may argue she was unaware or unwilling, Jack holds them fully accountable for their part in the Abbott family's downfall. Friday, December 19th. Jack doesn't stop with corporate retaliation. He takes the battle right to Victor's front door by interfering with the relationship between Victor and Nikki. He will no doubt use Victor's manipulation and secrecy to drive a wedge between the couple, leveraging their marital discord for his own gain. The Newman-Abbott rivalry has never been more volatile. The line between business and family is completely erased, and the collateral damage is immense. The message and the alliance, Kyle's strategic heartbreak. While the family business is collapsing around him, Kyle Abbott is engaged in a cold, calculating power play of his own. His focus shifts from the Newman-Abbott war to his increasingly complicated romantic and professional life. A new alliance against Audra. Kyle's desperation to secure a place in Genoa City's elite circles, and perhaps his desire to win back his former flame, leads him to a surprising partnership. Wednesday, December 17th, Kyle forms an alliance with Claire Grace Newman against Audra Charles. The tension between Claire and Audra has been building, likely over Audra's history with Noah Newman and her manipulative nature. Kyle sees an opportunity here. Kyle's motivation: is he truly interested in Claire, or is he simply using her to get leverage against Audra, who has a history of questionable alliances and business dealings? Kyle believes Audra's vulnerability could be his key message to Summer. The partnership with Claire, a young woman with her own complicated ties to the Newman family and a troubled past, is clearly meant to provoke someone, Summer Newman. Thursday, December 18th, Kyle sends a message to Summer. This isn't a loving check-in. It's a pointed, calculated communication designed to rattle his ex-wife. What is the message? It's likely a clear statement that he is moving on and establishing himself with a Newman, directly contrasting her own relationship choices and business ambitions. Given the escalating Matt Clark danger, it could also be a warning regarding the safety of their son, Harrison, whom Victor views as a great-grandchild and would protect. Either way, Kyle is using this message as a weapon to make Summer realize exactly what she has lost, or more accurately, what he wants her to think she has lost. Kyle's actions suggest he is embracing a darker, more opportunistic side of his personality, mirroring the relentless nature of the Genoa City patriarchs he grew up watching. Nick's danger: the return of a psychopathic shadow. The most terrifying and immediate threat this week falls squarely on the Newman family, particularly Nick Newman, with the reappearance of a sociopathic figure from their past. Matt Clark's vengeful return. The news that Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, is not only alive but has arrived in Genoa City sets off immediate panic. Matt is the man who nearly killed Noah Newman in a car crash and whose past has tangled dangerously with the Newman family's affairs, particularly through his association with Sienna Bacall. Nick's hero instinct. Nick takes matters into his own hands to protect Sharon and the rest of his family. He refuses to wait for the threat to escalate, already moving Noah and Sienna to a secret location to throw Matt off the trail. The deadly orders. Matt Clark, driven by a desire to get back what Victor stole from him, is setting his own scheme in motion. He is seen issuing menacing orders to his accomplice, Detective Annie Stewart, to take care of Sienna Bacall, highlighting the immediate and deadly danger looming over Noah's new friend. The rivalry escalates to a dangerous confrontation. Nick's protective instincts are on overdrive, and he's ready to face down the man who threatened his son's life. Friday, December 19th. Nick and Matt Clark's rivalry takes a dangerous turn. This is the culmination of the week's building tension, a terrifying showdown that is long overdue. The stakes. Nick is fiercely protective of his family, especially Sharon and their children. Matt Clark is a desperate, psychopathic criminal with nothing to lose and a vendetta against Victor and anyone connected to him. This confrontation is unlikely to end in a simple conversation. It promises to be a violent, high-stakes collision that could leave one or both men seriously injured or worse. The presence of Matt Clark is a ticking time bomb in Genoa City, and Nick, stepping into his role as family protector, is dangerously close to the explosion. Other key moments and fallout. As the main crises unfold, several other major storylines are reaching critical turning points, further entangling the lives of Genoa City's residents. Billy's risky gambit. Left to clean up the corporate mess after Victor's attack, Billy Abbott strikes a deal with Phyllis Summers on Thursday. Knowing Phyllis, this will be a high-risk, high-reward move that could either save Abbott Communications or plunge it into a new kind of crisis, likely infuriating Sally Spectra. Kane and Phyllis's volatile dynamic. The professional animosity and undeniable tension between Kane Ashby and Phyllis continues to simmer, even as Kane attempts to score a second chance with Lily Winters. Phyllis's continued need to push Kane's buttons, which may even include an unexpected kiss, complicates everything. Diane's SOS. Realizing the severity of Victor's attack on Jabot, Diane Jenkins Abbott turns to Michael Baldwin for help on Friday. This places Michael in a terrible predicament, caught between his long-standing friendship with Diane and his family's loyalty to Victor. The final verdict: a week that changes everything. The week of December 15th through the 19th is a masterclass in high-stakes soap opera drama. The sheer volume of major developments: Victor's devastating victory, Jack's immediate declaration of war, the Abbott communications disaster, Kyle's calculated maneuvering with Claire against Summer, and the terrifying, violent confrontation between Nick and Matt Clark, guarantees a maximum engagement viewing experience. Genoa City is entering a period of deep instability. The consequences of Victor's corporate ruthlessness will be felt throughout the town, while the deadly personal revenge plot will forever change the dynamic of the Newman family. The question is, will Nick survive the showdown with a maniacal Matt Clark? And will Kyle's calculated message to Summer succeed in hurting her? Or will it backfire and alienate him from his family forever?